In this video, I will reveal to you two things that by focusing on them in your training, you will see a lot more progress. Now, I won't be talking about the training plan that you should be doing, the exercises that you should choose, or how you should periodize your training. Instead, I will talk about in the training plan while doing the exercises two massively important things that if you focus on, you guarantee making more progress. Now, what is a jacked body? A jacked body is a body with a pretty good amount of muscle mass and a pretty low body fat percentage. By implementing these things into your training, you will see more muscle gain, which will by extension give you a more jacked body. Before I get into it, I need you to realize one thing. Your body has a limit. Your genetics are designed to get you only so far. What does it mean? So you cannot get a body like the body of Chris Bumstead. Why? Because he has his own unique genetics which gives him that body. You cannot get a body like mine because my body, the insertions that I have, the muscle mass that I have is unique to me. Each person has different genetics. It's obvious, right? But the thing is that if your genetics are pretty bad for building muscle, you will never get like a really muscular physique unless you will go on the juice. I need you to realize one thing. You need to change your perception of what jacked is before you actually go and implement that stuff. Now in the title I told you that I would give you the two things that will make you more jacked, but before that I need you to realize that something that is massively important that a lot more men should realize, and it is that you can only get as jacked as your genetics allows you to be. Now that's not necessarily a black pill that you should swallow and stop training because your genetics are fucked. That's a kind of red pill with a black pill that you need to swallow. It basically means that you will get more jacked, for sure. As long as you train, you will build muscle, especially if you are a beginner. But there is only so much muscle that you can build, and you don't know what it is yet because you haven't built it yet. So essentially what I'm telling you to do is to change your perception of what is jacked, to stop getting so desensitized towards elite level physiques. Because think about it like this, the elite level physiques, they are the kind of physiques that you will never achieve, or you will be able to achieve them if your genetics are really good and you are just an anomaly. You are probably not an anomaly, just through natural selection, so you might as well in your algorithm, the algorithm on Instagram or YouTube, try to influence it to like videos, to watch these videos for longer, the kind of videos with a natural physique. Like if you watch fitness content of a guy showing off his physique, you might as well not watch the steroid meathead, and by watching them you get suggested more of his videos. Instead you will watch the natural guy with a good physique, and as you will watch it more, you will unconsciously influence your brain to perceive this kind of physiques to be jacked, and you will get a lot more sensitive to the kind of physique that you can actually achieve with enough work and dedication. And that's what I think to be a way better approach than watching all of the meatheads and getting body dysmorphia and destroying your perception of a jacked physique and basically fucking up your mental health. Now, once I've covered this, I wanna go over what are these two things. The first one out of them is the most obvious shit that you have heard all the time, and it is technique. What is a good technique? So a lot of people like to overcomplicate it and talk about how you should slow down the eccentric. You should do it for sure, but there is a one massively important principle behind all of these recommendations, and it is you targeting the desired muscle, and that's basically it. If you want to grow muscle, you should target it. And the control on the eccentric is important because it is one way to target it better. You feel it more, you feel the muscle works, it improves mind-muscle connection, which will by extension target it more. Now, it works on other mechanisms, but the basic mechanism that I think that you should keep in mind, that is the most simple, that is the most important, is you trying to target the desired muscle. That's what I do. Now when it comes to it, that's why things like ego lifting is not good, or cheat reps are not necessarily good for most people, unless you like do clean reps and then go on cheat reps and you do some kind of a drop set, that's good. But the thing is that when you don't target the desired muscle, you will not grow it. And the best indicator of that is you feeling it works. So when you do bicep curls, if you feel your biceps works really well, great. you targeted. But on the other side, if you feel your delts, then you are not targeting it as much. You are targeting other muscles that should not work during that exercise. And now the second thing, and again, I have never told you that I will tell you secrets. I will just remind you of the important things that by doing, you make a lot more progress. The second thing is intensity, but not intensity in a sense of you training for 3 reps and trying to train the most intensely with the most weight. No ego lifting, no shit like that, but about proximity to failure. The closer you are to failure, the more hypertrophy you induce by default. When you go like above the RIR, reps in reserve of 1, so you get a complete failure, you induce a lot more muscle damage according to the literature. Our goal with intensity is to take most of our sets to an RIR of between 3 to 1. And 1 set to 0, just so we know what 0 is, what is failure. And how do you know? So you basically either contrast the reps with failure. So let's say that you do 9 sets to get to failure or complete failure, then doing 7 sets is 2 reps in reserve. But there is another method, and it is how you slow down on the concentric part of the movement. The closer you get to failure, the less energy that your muscles have, and by default, you will start to slow down on the concentric part of the movement. That's an indicator that you get very close to failure. The slower you get, the closer you are. When you movement, the concentric movement, when you move at half of the speed as you were at the beginning, that's a sign that you're very, very close to muscular failure, around 1 to 2 reps in reserve. That's how you know. And that's it. These are the 2 things that if you focus on in your training, you get a lot more jacked. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe. If you wanna get free stuff from me, you can check out the link in the description. Bye, bro.